Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Taylor Pewitt. I am PLTW's Product Marketing Manager for our high school programs. I'm joined today with Sheila Robles, one of PLTW's instructional developers. We appreciate you all taking the time to join us today to learn more about Pathogen Patrol on Roblox. We thought it would be beneficial to provide this overview since it's about the time of year in which this activity might be introduced to your classes. The goals for today will really just be to walk everyone through where this activity is, its resources, and how the experience really connects to the human body systems. And then we'll wrap up by demonstrating how Pathogen Patrol encourages students to collaborate in teams and to apply their knowledge of immunology. So to kick things off with Pathogen Patrol, it is a key component of Activity 3.2.2 in Human Body Systems. The experience takes place on Roblox, which is a very popular online platform that allows users to develop and experience games. There's no cost to the end users, and the platform is device agnostic, allowing students to access Pathogen Patrol from any computer, Chromebook, tablet, and even a phone. This activity focuses on teaching students about immunology as they work collaboratively to save their patients. Now, with y'all being familiar with PLTW's teacher and student guides, I don't want to spend too much time discussing those, but I do want to point out some of the resources that are embedded into the teacher guide, like the Roblox preparation guide. So let me go ahead and pull that up here. Let's see here, and go back one page. So once you pull up 3.2.2 immune defense, you'll see a plethora of resources at the top here. The one that I really want to pull y'all's attention to is the Roblox preparation guidelines. So the preparation guidelines are really set in place to set you up to teach this in the classroom. As everyone may not be familiar with the Roblox platform, these guidelines are designed to walk you through the setup process to facilitate this activity in the classroom. To begin, you'll want to start by pulling these up, and as you walk through, you'll see the details on how to install Roblox on your devices. So the computer hardware requirements are up top here. Roblox also has an educational site that they've developed. To give you guys a little bit of background there, Roblox is getting into the education space and has been for the past year or so. We are one of the partners that is working with them to help make this happen. So it's still kind of in its infancy, but this is a big focus that Roblox has in getting into the education space so that more students can learn through immersive experiences such as Pathogen Patrol. So going down further, you'll see how to install and play Roblox, as well as how to set up a classroom. I think this is a really key point. So as you look at getting students set up, there are some guidelines on student safety in terms of the usernames that they use. So we really don't want students putting in their contact information. They don't need to use email addresses. One of the benefits with the Roblox platform is all they need is a user ID and their password to access. So you're not providing any student information at that point in time. Another key component of accessing Pathogen Patrol is ensuring that the device has an internet connection, since Roblox is a web-based platform. And then lastly, we want to provide some guidance on the creation of a safe environment for the students. So down below here, you'll see the guidance that I just referenced. All right, how do I set up my account? What do I need to do to ensure that it's a safe environment in terms of security? So two-step verification can be enabled if that's something you want to look into. And then just your privacy and contact settings. So all this we've developed and put in place to make sure that if you're going to be walking through Pathogen Patrol as an activity, you can successfully set this up in an environment that's going to be safe for your students and provide a good experience. So going back from here, I want to talk a little bit about the experience itself and what you can expect. I've already referenced the resources that'll get you started. In Pathogen Patrol itself, students are set to actively engage as learners, developing a deep understanding of the basic cellular life as well as intricacies of human immunity. They will be embarking on an exploratory journey through various pathogens and their roles in infectious disease, gaining insight into the human immune system, including both its innate and acquired mechanisms. The activity is designed to do more than just enrich their biological knowledge. It really aims to sharpen their critical thinking and collaborative skills, effectively preparing them as adept problem solvers and young scientists in the ever-evolving field of health and disease. In Pathogen Patrol, players explore diverse tissue environments, engaging with a variety of cell types and disease-causing agents. The immersive experience provides a hands-on understanding of the immune system as players witness firsthand how cells collaborate in a complex defense network against pathogens. So by comparing and contrasting bacterial and human cells, students grasp fundamental differences in size, motility, and reproduction. They will identify pathogens by observing antigens and learning to differentiate between bacteria and viruses, which is an essential skill for immunologists. As the students progress into this game, they are transported into the heat of an immune response, participating in inflammation and the recruitment of white blood cells. By interacting with immune cells, students gain insights into their unique structures and their functions. They experience the varied responses of the immune system to bacterial and viral infection and discover the mechanisms of innate immunity, such as how macrophages and neutrophils recognize and attack bacteria. The game also sheds light on acquired immunity with a results screen that highlights the efficiency of memory B cells and the role of macrophages in devouring antibody-tagged pathogens. Additionally, players observe lymphocyte recognition and the critical process of helper T cell activation, which triggers the defense actions of plasma B and killer T cells, which are the key players in the body's immune response system. Now I'd like to introduce you all to our Pathogen Patrol characters. I mentioned a few of them just now, but these are all the characters that students will interact with in the experience itself. So first up is our helper T cell, the master coordinator of our immune response. This cell plays a crucial role in alerting and activating other immune cells, ensuring a strong and effective defense against pathogens. Now, in the experience itself, helper T is set to be your guide and resource as you explore this environment. Next, we have the macrophage, the big eater of the immune system. These cells are like first responders, quickly moving to the site of infection where they engulf and destroy invading pathogens. Next, meet the dendritic cell, our immune system's messenger. These cells capture antigens from pathogens and present them to T cells, sparking a targeted immune response. Then we have neutrophil, one of the most abundant and frontline defenders. These cells are rapid responders to infection, specializing in attacking and digesting bacteria. Next is the plasma B cell, our body's custom antibody factory. These cells produce antibodies specifically designed to neutralize and mark pathogens for destruction. And finally, we have cytotoxic T cell, the assassin of infected cells. These cells are crucial in eliminating cells that have been hijacked by viruses, stopping the spread of infection. So together, these cell characters form a formidable team in our Pathogen Patrol game, each playing a unique and a vital role in the battle against disease-causing invaders. They represent the incredible mechanisms of our body's immune system working tirelessly to keep us healthy. I think you'll see that represented as Sheila and I walk through an example. You'll be able to see how the characters respond and how her and I converse of what character we might want to portray based on the situation and the patient that we're working with at that point in time. Moving forward, to effectively really bring Pathogen Patrol into the classroom, we do think it's essential to first establish a foundation of clear gameplay guidelines that encourage teamwork, effective communication, and respectful interaction. So tying the gameplay to the creation of the immunology concepts maps allows students to turn their virtual adventures into real-world knowledge, enriching their grasp of the subject matter with accurate and detailed terminology. Pathogen Patrol is also designed to foster critical thinking, You should guide students to try and think about the implications of their gameplay choices on their real-life understanding of the immune system. As the students discuss and collaborate to develop their game strategies, they practice valuable communication skills. And you can steer these discussions to correct misunderstandings and reinforce the learning. The game is versatile, accommodating diverse learning styles, which permits every student to participate in a way that suits them best. The journey of learning with Pathogen Patrol extends beyond the screen, with achievements embedded in the game to celebrate and maintain engagement. So strategic use of formative assessments can also enhance teaching, allowing you to tailor subsequent lessons to your students' evolving needs. And then something I do want to bring forward as well. So before we dive into the experience itself, with the platform itself being vendor agnostic, students are able to play this outside of the classroom too. So if it's something that you want to extend as an assignment for homework or just extended learning, there is an opportunity there because Roblox itself is a publicly accessible platform, and we've made this accessible to anybody outside of the organization. So it's freely available for all to play. With that overview, what I like to do now is actually turn it over to Sheila so that we can dive into the experience itself. She's going to walk us through the lobby area and focus on the different areas, maybe share some additional character information, and then highlight at the end of that where the patient scenarios live. And then her and I will walk through and do a gameplay of Pathogen Patrol so you can see what that might look like in the classroom. So I will stop sharing and toss it over to you, Sheila.
Great. So I'm going to start in the, if you go to roblox.com, or if you once you have the Roblox platform downloaded, which is what I'm showing here, this is a home screen. It'll have several games. Right now, Pathogen Patrol shows up as a continue because I've played it before, of course. But you can search Pathogen Patrol, and you'll see it pop up. Select the game. Now, before I get into the game, I just want to introduce you all to the PLTW group on Roblox. This page here has information about Pathogen Patrol. And then in this developer section, we have Project Lead the Way. If you click there, this is our PLTW group on Roblox. If you play through Roblox and you encounter any bugs, this would be one of the places you could come and report any information. You're also welcome to just say something nice about the game, and you can see how others have responded to Pathogen Patrol. A lot of these players are just players on Roblox, not necessarily in the classroom, who have responded very positively to this experience. So now I'm going to dive into the game. It's as simple as pressing play. And we're in. The game does have sound. If I recommend students having headphones, but if that's going to be too much of a distraction, it's very simple to remove the sound by having your students go to this Roblox icon at the top left, go to settings, and then in this volume section, just bring it all the way down. Okay, so here it's me and Taylor. This is how you launch into the game. And right off the bat, you can use the arrow keys. And the very first thing you come across are these 3 portals for training. So the first training teaches you how to navigate in the game, how to move around. The second portal here teaches you about the bacteria and how to fight the bacteria and best strategies for that. And then we have a virus training that's very similar to the bacteria training, only it handles what happens when fighting a virus. So now we're going to go down towards the game. As you're getting towards the patient portals, there's a lot of these really nice, it's kind of like a museum of what you're going to encounter in the game. And there's these descriptors describing what each character is again. So like Taylor described the macrophage and the dendritic, all that detail can be found here. Has like the white blood cell, what kind of immunity we're dealing with. And same thing can be seen over here, the adaptive immunity. And then once we get into this red section, we have all the viruses on the right, or the pathogens, the viruses and the bacteria. And then on the left over here, we have what our antigens look like. So I'm going to go straight into one of these portals. My favorite are the viruses. They're a little more challenging. So I'm going to go into this viral dermal level.
And it might be beneficial to highlight too. So there's the dermal layer, the lungs, and the intestinal tract. So in this, you could think of it as like a patient portal area. There are different experiences that you could dive into based on what you want to battle in terms of bacteria versus virus.
Yes, great call out. So I'm going to join this one as multiplayer. Looks like we have a third person in there. This will be fun. So let's save 𝐒𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐢𝐻𝐿. Here we go. So once we enter the game, it gives us the opportunity to select a cell. What are you going to be, Taylor?
I think I'm going to go dendritic.
Okay, so I'm going to be �NEWT then. What's nice is as you go to select a cell, it does give you a little insight on what their skill is. So I will be �NEWT.
So going into this knowing that I'm dendritic and I can pick up the antigens, I'm really going to be focusing on following these other players such as Sheila, and I believe Jason might be the other one, and picking up the antigens, and I'm going to be taking them back to the bloodstream.
You can see the little red viruses bouncing up and down. They're very scary. I remember thinking about COVID when I saw this, and I was like, that's what's happening. It's pretty intense.
Something I do want to call out, and maybe Sheila, you can share this if you be dendritic next, is on the right side with dendritic or whatever other cells that you're being in the game, you might have a time limit in which you need to take those antigens back to the bloodstream and deposit them. So just be aware of that as students are choosing their characters if they run out of time.
All right, I felt like I wasn't very useful, so I'm going to be a macrophage next.
All right, I went neutrophil this time around.
You can notice at the top, Helper T is trying to give me some advice. And then you can also see at the top, once Helper T goes away, how many pathogens are left in the game.
Yeah, our patient health is also on the top left as well. So we can see and track how we're doing in fighting off these infections. Looks like we're maybe falling a little behind.
Yeah. This is a really cool view. It's the artery.
Well, we've only got 67 remaining, so I think we're doing a little bit of catching up. That's good.
That's really good. So 19 seconds. I think I'm going to go drop off these antigens before time runs out.
Something I'll add to this as well, and as we were working with students and schools to really do some testing, and from the ones that I've used the experience so far, we heard that a tablet is actually probably one of the more beneficial ways to experience Roblox and Pathogen Patrol. I think it could have to do with students being very well versed in mobile devices, but they all had a really good experience on the tablet side of things if you don't have Chromebooks or laptops.
Yeah, that's a good point. Even Chromebooks with the touchscreen aspect of the Chromebook also works well. So here you can see, originally I didn't point it out, but these two cells at the bottom were locked because immunity wasn't acquired yet. But now we've brought enough antigens to the artery that we've unlocked plasma B and toxic T. So I'm going to select cytotoxic T to play as.
That's a win in my book. Now we just got to save the patient.
Press E to spray antibodies. They're kind of hard to see now. It's fun because in the classroom, when we tested this with students, it started off like, what's going on?
Oh no.
And then they reach this screen and they're like, what? Why did we fail? And then you just hear students, well, it's because we weren't working together. It's because we weren't communicating. And so then they started using the terminology in the game, like, okay, are you going to be a macrophage? Okay, I'm going to be a neutrophil. And it was so natural. And we tested with students that were biomedical science students and students who were computer science students. And it happened in both cases where they started using the vocabulary, they started working together. It was just very natural because nobody likes to fail.
Yeah, so like recapping how we ended up not saving this patient, looking back, if I were to reflect on what happened, we didn't unlock the cytotoxic T soon enough so that we could actually mitigate those pathogens from really duplicating and getting into the bloodstream. So I think that was a strategy that maybe we should have tried to unlock it quicker, and maybe we would have had a better opportunity to actually go through and save that patient. But what we can do now is go through another example. That was a
dermal virus. So we can try bacteria next.
Yeah.
What do you think, intestinal tract or lungs?
I will defer to you.
I love the lungs. Let's go in there. I always have respiratory infections. One of the things students might notice even playing is how they might need a different strategy for a bacteria level than they might use in a viral level. All right, here we go. Gotta save Claire. I don't know what happened to the other patient, but we failed. I don't know what that means. Hopefully she didn't die.
I think we're too focused on recording and presenting.
Probably. Notice for the bacteria level, we only have one cell to unlock. So I'm going to be, what are you going to be?
I'm going to go newt this time instead of starting with dendritic. I think that put me behind.
Okay, well, I'm going to be a dendritic then, because he's cute. So because I'm dendritic, I'm going to follow Newt around, because once he does his thing, I can collect these antigens.
And again, with dendritic capturing and holding on to all those antigens, there is a time limit to get those and take them back to deposit.
Yeah, you can see right now I have 42 seconds left, plenty of time, but I can also only hold 100 antigens.
There's another strategy with neutrophil. Neutrophil has a time limit as well, and then after it runs out of time, deploys a safety net that can help you strategically to protect some of the cells that are getting affected. Our patient health this time is at least in the green, so we're doing much better than we did previously.
I was able to deliver my antigens. I waited to the last second. Oh, look, that worked. We now have our antibody. We have our plasma B. So I'm gonna play as plasma B.
And because of that, then we may not need to be, dendritic moving forward, because we won't really have to deposit any of the antibodies.
Correct.
So now our objective is to really just take care of all these bacteria.
Yeah, what's great about this game is I have no background in medical stuff. I am a computer science instructional developer, but I now know how the immune system works from playing this game over and over.
Only got 76 left, so we must be doing good.
Where are those pathogens to stun? Oh, I ran out of time. I'm gonna be Mac now.
And if this is an activity that y'all are going to be wanting to share out with your students and do in the classroom, I would definitely recommend those test tubes that were at the very front of the lobby that Sheila was showing. Just going through and playing those on your own as well, just to kind of build up your knowledge about how the game can be perceived and what the expectations are, because it's a great tutorial on how to navigate everything. You'll see on the screen now that there's little orange arrows above all the bacteria. So this was an addition based on some feedback so that we could identify, all right, we're getting really close to saving this patient and getting rid of all the bacteria. We wanted to make it a little bit easier for the students instead of having to run around the map. That way they can just find them in an easier capacity. Looks like we got one left.
Got it.
All
Great.
right.
I didn't show this last time, but the mission complete provides us, Taylor mentioned some information that could be useful in seeing like how you could improve next time and what steps you took that maybe led you to this successful completion. We saved her.
Hey, we're one for two. I think that's doing pretty good. And you'll see there too that there was a mention of a Memory B badge that was earned. So as they save patients, students that are a little bit more familiar with Roblox, maybe they want to hang on to the badges so they can see that they completed something and they saved a patient. What else do you think we should call out, Sheila? Is there anything that we've missed so far or you want to shed a little bit more light on?
I think we've covered everything. I mean, we haven't seen the intestinal tract. We could definitely take a look at that if we want to. But the gameplay is very similar. We have a bacteria, we have a virus. Looks like there's someone who wants to play with us.
Well, why don't we do the intestinal tract real quick then?
All right, let's go to a bacteria because I guess they're in here. Let's just join.
Get to play with a snake character.
Well, two of us might not join. Or one of us. I don't know. I'm gonna be by myself. Great. Let's see if we can save Serena. All right, looks like it's me and Jason. I'm gonna be Newt. This world was really exciting to see. I don't know, I love the lung that we just did because it has like all the mucus and it's like feels very much like a lung. But this one, there's so many trees. I don't know what they're actually called, but they look like trees inside the human body and it looks cool.
I'm not sure about your team, but my team's only got 5 left. We're doing
What?
pretty good.
That's awesome. Helper T's in the way, so I can't see it. We have 116. I'm gonna be Mac this time.
So I know in the intro here, we had talked about having students collaborate while they're playing these games and really reflecting on their experience as they use different cell or white blood cells to mitigate the bacterial and viral infections. Something else that could be a good change up is have students working in different groups so that they can work on the communication skills and further develop the vocabulary and terminology that they're using within the course. And that was really intentional in how we designed the experience itself, was to have students, it's almost like that real world application. All right, if I'm going to be talking about something, what can I do that's going to represent the usage of this information that I'm learning in the classroom? So it's a great way to apply that learning to an experience.
'86 or 890 now.
3 left.
You have a team of white blood cell masters.
I do. All right, no pressure. We saved ours.
I have 65 to go. As I play this, I always imagine like this is happening inside my body, and it's kind of gross. Like these are the bacteria, but that's part of what makes me learn it, you know? Like seeing, okay, this is how it works.
Makes me think back to like Osmosis Jones. It's almost like that type of representation. You can see it and work through the experience.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, as we're walking through this, and y'all feel free to, I know Jason and Kirk have been answering some questions in the chat. If there's a thought that you have, feel free to post those. We'd love to support y'all any way that we can, just to make sure that your students can experience this. I know there were some mentions of maybe the district not having Roblox unlocked for your classroom. We really hope that in the future, we don't have any timeline for it since it's not our platform. But our wish would be for this to be open to all school districts if Roblox comes out with some sort of EDU platform that does meet all the requirements that a school district might deem necessary to keep student information secure. But if there's anything that we can help do to support y'all along the way, we are absolutely here for that.
I don't know how you saved your patient so quickly, Taylor.
I think I just had some really incredible teammates. Well, and I had a full team as well, so that probably helped.
That's a good point. Yeah, I love seeing these words, epithelial cell. It's always nice when you just see right in front of you the real world application of what it is you're doing.
Oh, yeah, Kirk had a good comment. Maybe I was playing with HBS students. I had an advantage.
Oh, probably should have. We're so close. We're almost gonna get those arrows. I think the arrows pop up at 50. Maybe it's 25.
Yeah, I think you're getting close to those. So as she's going through here, you can see on the right screen where it says macrophage destroy all pathogens, the time limit there, and then the little bubble above it is actually fading downward to let her know, all right, how much time do I have until my next character is going to be prompted.
All right, should I give up?
It looks like they're multiplying, so maybe.
Sorry, Sheila, I'm a terrible partner.
I think this is the hardest level, so. I'm gonna go ahead and exit, and this is another thing. They end up getting stuck in a level. We do have this exit button at the top right. They could just quickly exit back to the headquarters section, and they'll be back here.
And for those that are not as familiar, when Sheila jumped right into that lobby, the right-hand column provides you with how to use your keyboard and mouse to navigate the map. So there are embedded instructionals to help students and educators understand how to navigate through the experience itself. But if there's not anything else we want to walk through, and if y'all want to ask any questions, we are more than happy to answer what we can. Hope you enjoyed getting to see us walk through the experience and see what this might look like for your students to work in teams to help fight off these bacterial and viral infections. I appreciate you being able to participate with us and hope you get to use it. But we'll stick around for a few minutes if you have questions. Other than that, we'll give you guys some time back and hope you get to use the experience. All right, I don't see any questions coming in, so I'm going to go ahead and close this out. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Look forward to seeing y'all on Roblox and in the Pathogen Patrol game. Best of luck saving your patients.